and welcome to another unboxing on D-Day. I think this is it. I think this is going to wind out my special D-Day week. If you've been following, Kilroy was here this week. You saw a lot of D-Day. You drank a lot of coffee. You saw a lot of aspects of D-Day, whether it was books or movies or a whole lot of games. I think I covered up to 25 or more games or talked about them in different aspects and covered them in a lot of my deep dives, which kind of goes down on a level of scale. And was lucky enough to get this at the final minute so I can include it in on D-Day week. This is Vorwarts, the expansion to Crowbar, which is this beauty right here, which is a solitaire game designed by Hermann Luttmann and published by Flying Pig Games. And Mark Walker of Flying Pig Games and Hermann were very, very kind to send me Crowbar and this expansion for coverage on D-Day, and I got it at the just at the final nick of time. So again, I'll put a link to Crowbar in my description, but this is going to be posted right after it. And I'll go into what's inside the box of Crowbar. But again, it's a solitaire game. It's based, I think, loosely or has some influence from Hermann Luttmann's Magnificent Style, which was a Civil War solitaire game where you're kind of advancing in a linear fashion along a path. A Magnificent Style was Pickett's Charge. This one is covering the Rangers at Pointe Du Hoc, which was a amphibious landing on a beach, and then scaling a straight up cliff by the Rangers, and then fighting at the top of that cliff. And so this is the Vorwarts expansion that goes to that game. Let's see what it says on the back here. There are 2 new scenarios in this module. You have the Wehrmacht Strikes Back. You will play as the Grenadiers. So you're going to be playing as the Germans as you launch an initial late afternoon attack, making the first serious attempt at driving the Rangers back into the sea. And that's something that's unique about Crowbar. If you take a look at that video, it's a solitaire game, but there's also a 2-player co-op, a 3-player co-op, and opposed. You can play it opposed. Then we have another scenario here, the night assaults. You will take the command of the Germans again and attempt to find, infiltrate, and destroy the Ranger perimeter in a series of vicious night assaults. Time is short and the stakes are high. So this is kind of giving you the chance to play the other side and kind of try to push the Rangers back and keep them off of their goals in the game. So let's get into this and see what we have. I have not done any prep work on this because I said I just got this in at the final moment before I had to finish out all my filming for the week. So again, want to thank Hermann and Mark for this. Nice box, but you know me, I try to fit everything I have for a game, including all expansions, into the same box, into the original box, to save shelf space. So very nice box, thick box, but it will go in storage probably. All right, so here, because I never throw anything away. Here's your rules for the expansion. Looks like we've got, and this is probably going to be mainly scenario stuff, but it looks like there are some rule changes here on the back page. And it looks like we have 12 pages of rules, or 12 pages in this book, but it looks like most of this is the scenario. This is all scenario stuff here. So you have some mini solitaire scenarios. That's kind of cool. And then I think these are the actual player as German scenarios. There's that Wehrmacht Strikes Back. And here's the night assaults right here. So you've got some new scenarios that's going to tell you the setup and anything you need to do to play those games. You have some different setup and some different victory conditions right here. There you have that. So it looks like as far as new rules, the rules changes here on page 2 and 3, and then you're right into the scenario. So we really only have two pages of rule changes. And that might be some of the stuff dealing with how to play the Germans, maybe. Here's a summary of the rule changes here. This is on a nice thick board here, or player aid. Have that. Then we get some new counters here. Let's see what we have here. Woo. And if you look at these, one thing about flying pig counters, they're large. I mean, those are good size counters. They're decent thickness, and they're pre-rounded, so you don't have to clip them. And I'm not a clipper by trade. I have been known to, but very rarely. And so these are right up my alley. And they're very clear and clean, and everything you have on there. And then they're double-sided. There you have that. So this is easily fit into the main box. But basically what Vortwarts is doing is giving you the chance to play the Germans. I mean, it looks like there's some mini scenarios in there, so there's still some more content for solitaire play and for playing the Rangers. But the primary ad that I think this gives you and gives us, if you have this along with me, the ability to play the Germans. And so that's interesting. I kind of like that approach to it. I like games that have a different perspective and let you take on those different perspectives. So anyway, so that's what I have for you today. This is kind of a short one. I did a little bit longer on Crowbar, so take a look at that one. It's worth a look, and if you have Crowbar, then there's no reason not to get this, because this just adds more gameplay and more variety and more playability to the whole mix. Anyway, I want to thank Mark and Hermann again, and want to thank you for stopping by. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you stopped by for this, if you stopped by for Crowbar, if you stopped by for any of my content this week on D-Day week, this is the most amount of videos I've done in a week, and especially on a specific topic. I've done some theme weeks before, but never to this intensity or insanity, as you may call it. But thank you so much for hanging around, stopping by, dropping some comments. The likes and the subscribes are nice, but I really do like the comments. So to start a dialogue on any of these games or on any of the other topics that cover books and cover movies, and really try to present a lot of different perspectives on D-Day and its various elements. So anyway, thank you so much, and have a great one. Thanks for watching.